can do all. Stand up tall with my left foot, post up on the wall. Easy if they fall in the streets. Life can get hard. Streets used to be a lot different from what man recall. Me a aim for my post like a soccer ball. Feel run the road that don't need a map at all. Babylon them want to hold me with a strap at all. But man a liar, me no Cancer nor Capricorn.
Though they want to see me fall, I'm gonna be okay. Though my back's against the wall, I'm gonna be okay. They fighting me now. I'm gonna be okay. Jehovah eyes are watching me now. I'm gonna be okay.
Welcome to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we have TPD Swift.
TP Swift D?
TP Swift D. I was rehearsing it, but I don't know. I still messed up. Man. Let them know who you are and what area you're from, what division, and except for.
My name is Dale Swift. I work for 33 Division, Toronto Police. I'm a neighborhood officer in the area of Parkway Forest community. Sorry, I gotta rep the six. Go Raps.
All right, Raptors.
Game 4.
Game 4? All right, we're going to get into raps too, but we're going to talk about, today's episode is Hood Cop, Good Cop. We're going to talk about like police in the neighborhood and what demonstrates a good officer, opposed to a bad officer. And you know the phrase, good cop, bad cop?
Yeah.
So I played around with the words, Hood Cop, Good Cop. We're going to go to this video, check it out.
Everybody, PC Swifty City here at Parkway Forest with my boy Glody. Glody, I can't see your face. Okay, Glody, look like your forehead is like big. So just can you tell everybody what is under your hood?
A lot of beautiful hair, but it's raining outside. Shrinkage doesn't like the.
He just said shrinkage. Can you show people what your hair looks like? You gotta show what the hair looks like. Hold on. Get ready. Okay, all right. You know what? I was gonna make fun of you, but that's okay. Let me see. That's cool. That's the first time I've ever seen his hair in one shape. Because most of the time he looks like Bloku, like he belongs to Dragon Ball Z. But this is good. You got a date today?
No.
You sure?
It's getting warmer out, so you gotta look good.
You gotta look good. Oh, okay. Anyways, that's Glody. Say hi, Glody. Oh, where'd he go? Ah! What's your name?
Mohammed.
Hi, Mohammed. Where's your brother Nas? Where's Nas? Where's Nas, Steve? Nas, where are you? Where'd he go? Why are you hiding?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared? Why are you scared of police?
I want to.
You want to be scared of police? I don't understand. No, I'm gonna take a picture. But I can't see your face. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, smile. I'm recording still, man.
Oh my god.
These are the youths that are in my neighborhood. Oh, she just what? We'll do it again. What did I say? Hustle like your... Hustle like your phone is at 1%. Wicked. I don't even know what that means, but I want a shirt. I don't even know what that means.
Thanks.
Can anyone tell me what that means? Hustle like your phone is at 1%.
That video is pretty amazing. It's good to see the human side of officers. There's a stigma out there that officers are bad. The little young man said, I'm afraid of cops, you know what I'm saying? And you ask him why. He said, because I want to. He didn't really have an answer, so he just threw that rebellious talk. I want to, you know what I'm saying? He's out. But those little kids were, other than the first guy, Lodi, what's his name?
Glody.
Okay, Glody. Other than him, the other kids were kind of like intimidated, but they kind of want to see you, but they like scared. You see, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. But talk to me about community policing.
Community policing, the sad thing I find is that policing is community policing. And for whatever reason, in the past little while, I feel like we've kind of gotten away from that. I think the best cops are the cops that know their communities that they work in.
Right.
You don't have to be from there, but if you don't understand a culture or anything, you got to take that step to figure out who people are in your community. Not just the guys who cause trouble, but the people who are trying to
do good.
Right.
The different businesses, the kids, the parents, everything. And the only way you do that is just by consistently being there.
Right.
Not being in your car, on our phones, and so on and so forth. It's literally just walking around saying hi. And recognizing that when community members see us, there's going to be resistance for whatever reason.
Right.
And it's funny because we, as a police service or services, like we react. Right. So when people are negative to us, we have a tendency to react. Not everybody, but some people, we react. It's recognizing to take that step back and recognizing that this is what people see.
Right.
And you could be from a different country, have a different experience, have a personal experience, what have you, where this is not something good.
Right.
So this is what I do, is not who I am. So when someone sees this and they're throwing hate or F-bombs or whatever, I don't take it personal.
Right.
Because that's coming from their own trauma or whatever personal experience that they have.
Right.
So I just say, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Right? So even though you flipped me the bird yesterday, you're going to see me here again tomorrow. And then the day after that.
Right.
And then the day after that.
Right.
And then you giving me the finger is going to turn to a little head nod.
Right.
And then from there, it might start from a conversation, just about anything. So it's that whole community policing is just showing consistency in a community where they can see you, just not when you're there to investigate, get information, but when you're joking around with the community, when you're being a part of that community, everything that they do, you want to be a part of. When they see that, it just opportunities open for being human, and they forget I'm in uniform. Right. I have kids. I'm going to the community center, and they'll just jump on me, like youth that jump on me. And one lady called 911 because she thought I was getting jumped by a whole bunch of 16-year-olds, and we're wrestling.
That's
outside
hilarious.
The community center.
That's funny.
And I'm like, guys, you can't do that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're in uniform. My bad, sorry. But it just shows that they are comfortable with that. They don't see this. They see me for who I am. But I have to put in that work and show them something different before they show me something.
Well, with that said, I want to thank you for coming on the show because
a
lot of people won't take that offer. You know what I'm saying? We're fighting to change the way people look at each other. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make a difference. So we have to now trash it out. We have to talk it out. We're going to get into some heavy conversations. But it's real. You understand what I'm saying? And people need to see. They need to see the human side of officers. I mean, you're a good officer. I could clearly see by social media and just meeting you a few times that I ran in with you. But not everybody's good officers, and that's just a reality. I have to say that because not everybody's good at their job.
No,
you understand what I'm saying? And you look like you love your job. And if you don't love your job, you won't be the best at it. You know what I'm saying? So we need people that are committed to the work they do. You're called to protect and serve, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about your perspective on serving. Like
Serving is so many different things. I think it's funny when you said serve, I was like, wait a second, I gotta think about that one. Serving is so many different things, and to each community, the word serve means something different. So to one community, for me, serving could be they just need to see police a bit more to feel more comfortable. That could be one aspect. Another thing could be a community sees that they have an issue with either drugs or guns, and we are investigating that. They feel more comfortable with that. So our service and serving depends on the needs of the community, not the other way around, not what we think the community needs. It's what the community tells us they need, and then we serve, and we help them either help themselves by giving them empowerment, by building those relationships with us, but it's based on what they tell us, and that's what it has to be about, because we don't know everything.
So now talk to me about the protect part. We're going to go to a break after this, but just briefly, because to serve and protect. Talk to me about the protect now.
Protecting is just making sure that people feel comfortable being in their communities. They can walk outside and not worry about who's watching them and what's happening in that corner. And let's be real. If you live, because I grew up in Toronto Housing, Chesterlee, big up Chesterlee.
All right.
So you always know what's going on in your community. We pretend like we don't, but we do. So sadly enough, there is violence, there was guns, there was drugs, there was everything. And people wouldn't say anything, so they would just kind of just hide. But we need to come in knowing this kind of stuff, dealing with that stuff. So as much as I love the community part, we also have to do the enforcement part, which are getting rid of those individuals who are making the community look bad. It only takes one or two communities. Like I hear about Jane and Finch and all different places with Toronto Housing and things that are going on, but that's like 2% of the population.
Right.
Everyone else,
Glorified,
yeah, and everyone else gets forgotten or put into that category either by police, by media, and other people who know nothing about that community. So knowing that it's 1 or 2% in that community, we need to go in, and those are the people we are supposed to be focusing on. Not the people that are trying to make the community great, but the individuals that are using this community as a safe place because they're cowards. Sorry, they're cowards. Living amongst people, knowing that no one's going to talk because of what they're repping.
Okay.
Those are the people we need to focus on. When we focus on them, people start to feel more comfortable. When people feel more comfortable, people start talking. Right. And then we can get to the real problems together.
Together.
It's all
So
about
we got to go to a break. We'll be back. Hoping it's 6.
With so many newspapers within the community, it's sometimes hard to tell what separates us from the rest. Most of the time, they all brag about the same thing. You know, the large circulations, tons of online views, and it can go on and on. But what really separates the Toronto Caribbean newspaper apart from everybody else? Well, it's simple. Our service. No, seriously. Hi, I'm Grant Browning, founder and CEO of the Toronto Caribbean newspaper. I have over 20 years of branding and marketing experience, and I've worked with countless companies and corporations to do one thing, and that is to raise their profits with their brand. With over 40 years of combined experience in branding and marketing, our amazing staff is fully prepared to sit down and figure out exactly what you need to stand out from your competitors.
The reason why you don't see his ad anymore is because
The ad is too powerful, bring too much people.
So what are you waiting for? Give us a call today. We'll be happy to help.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Okay, Drake comes in. He's coming in. Power. Nope. All right, out of bounds. It's a little fight, man. Troy got some fire. Oh, all right, TP. Oh, here we go. Pass it out. All right, they're sharing the ball. Oh, and
Get the rebound first. When it comes to attack. Pass up. Yo, use your energy on defense. You know they go hard. Yeah. Hey, are we switching on the goals? Are we switching on the screen or no? Yeah. Are we switching? Yeah. On the screen. Okay. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
Welcome back to Hoping It's 6, man. We talking about community policing. That video clip was 51 Division for Parliament. Shouts out to them. Peter Roberts. You know, we came together and said let's have a game. There was a little bit of resistance because they wanted just to play. My guys wanted to play against the officers. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, "Listen, we're not gonna play against. We got to merge a team." And I'm like, "Oh man."
And you guys want to play against?
Yeah, they want to play against.
You get to hit a cop.
You know what I'm saying? So they wanted to take it out because this game is not just a regular game that you play in community. Police play in the community. These are guys that are on offenders.
Wow.
So majority of the players that had the Hope shirt on were on probation. You know what I'm saying? So they was arrested by police. so they don't like police.
Yep.
And a lot of my guys said they weren't even gonna play. You know what I'm saying? But we hyped it up. We promoted it so big.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people start showing up like, yo, I want to play. I said, you didn't want to play, because I had to get like supervisors. Hey, can you fill in? You know what I'm saying? Then now they showing up to me, they want to play. So I said, okay, let them play. Sorry, supervisor, you can't. You know what I mean?
But that's good though.
You know, but it worked out good.
Yeah.
The merger was good.
Okay.
At first, I'm just like, let's against, but they start high fiving each other. Officers that arrested individuals, and before I get a comment from you, I want to talk about one of my guys. I had a banner up, Hope banner, and one of my guys was like, was murdered. Was in the banner. But I forgot the Asian guy name. I have to call him Asian right now. Sorry about that. But the Asian officer.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
But shout out to him. He played really well. Yeah. But he seen the banner and was like, "Is that Alpha?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Alpha Conte?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Tell him I'm sorry." I said, "What?" "Oh, so I'm sorry. I didn't have to arrest him." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man. Just tell him I had to run and blah blah blah, and I arrested him. But when you see him, tell him I'm sorry." Wow. What made him say he's sorry is the game they played. The game right there, they start to see each other human, like regular. They high-fiving. One of the guys who said he would never play, he moved out of Toronto. He said, "Listen, next time you do this game, let me know. I'm coming back." I said, "Wow." What? You understand what I'm saying? So this was, I want to shout out YSM for allowing us to do this. I want to shout out the division, because this is like history in the making. Like I said, it's not just regular community. These are people that hate police. Yeah. What we're trying to do is change that stigma. And police feel a way about street kids too, right? Thugs, whatever. Perspective is what it is. Yeah. But we're trying to change that perspective. So bridging the gap. You said you wanted to talk about the basketball too.
It's interesting too, because I think in police culture, because it's such more of a reactive service, and I know we're trying to change it, and I think we're doing I think we're on the road to be doing a better job.
I like that.
We see people that we usually see them as somebody on our system. Mm-hmm. So we have a tendency to see this person, oh, this is their charges. Oh, so this person probably hasn't changed that much. That's what we know them as, right? When that's not always the case. Mm-hmm. And I know this from once again growing up in Toronto housing. Like I'm in the system, right? And you could have looked at me and been like, who's he associated with? What he's been charged with? Yes, I was charged. I was arrested by the same division actually that I work with a long time ago. But I had those associates. I made those mistakes, all that stuff, and it would have been easy to see me as just what is in the report. But two sides. Officers need to see beyond that, because just because this is what they did doesn't mean that's who they are. Right. And at the same time, it's also community members showing that that's what I did, but that's not who I am right now. Right. So once again, that whole unity thing. But so we have to get out of that narrow-mindedness about this is who this individual is on our side, and the community going, well, this is who the officer is because he's a police officer. That's how we are. So we both have to kind of come to the table. But in regards to the basketball, every time I hear about, it's just cops playing basketball with black kids and blah, 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 it's just a sport. It has literally, to be honest with you, it has nothing to do with the sport itself, which is basketball. I run basketball programs out of high schools, and I'll tell you now, it is a safe place for individuals known to us, not known to us, to come out there, be men, learn problem-solving skills, deal with their issues, talk to each other, forget about what areas they're from. While these kids are playing, or youth or young men are playing, you have young men sitting on the bench talking to me about their lives, what has happened, things that they think are unfair, things that they're trying to do. I can't even tell you how many youth in the GTA have my cell number. I go through boxes of cards. So those community events, basketball brings everyone together, but then the whole thing itself is so much bigger. And you get to know the individuals, they get to know me, they see how I interact with them. Half these guys forget I'm a cop. I say even most, right? But that's because we're in a different environment where it doesn't matter. Right? And I tell them before every game or any run, I'm like, listen, don't make me be a police officer. So this is on you. So it teaches them how to be men, how to be grown women, because there's girls there too, and how to deal with stuff. And they'll come to me like, Swift. I'm like, listen, figure it out. And it forces them to learn skills that they can also use then on the street. And I know for 2 hours, they're here, not out there. Difference.
That's very interesting, and I see you're a comical guy. You're comical, and I'm just like hoping we can make it through the show, because I make jokes and laugh at myself the same way.
I'm trying to
so it's just like, you know what I mean. Let's get it through. But But being funny, I think that's a gift, and that's a leverage with these individuals because all we see, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be a police too, but I still, when I take the uniform, I'm a regular person. You understand what I'm saying? And you be so surprised because in the South, I was an officer in the South, and the older generation, they love officers. So when I put that uniform on, I'm a hero. Yeah. But as soon as I take out, to take that uniform, I'm a Negro. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Wow. So but it broke my heart because it's a reality. You understand what I'm saying? And different locations is different. People treat you different, but there's still, once you have that uniform, people see you. So if they love police, they're gonna respect you, right? Absolutely. And if they don't, they're gonna treat you a certain way. But that comedian part, that funny part, how do you use humor? And tell me why is it working for you?
I think the humor works. I think for me because because when I use humor with youth, they use it back on me. Mm-hmm. It's that whole thing about not taking anything personal. I find when you use humor, it can get laughter from people. I think that creates so much unity itself, right? So with a lot of the youth that get to know me, and even youth that don't know me, I'll joke, I'll crack jokes, knowing that they're gonna crack jokes back at me. Right. And there's that, it's jokes. Like no one takes anything personal. Like the one kid who came to my basketball program and he had the ashiest legs ever. And I had to put it on Instagram. I'm like, look, how do you come to a basketball run wearing shorts and you haven't put cocoa butter on your skin? I'm like, come here, let's see this. So it's stuff like that, but it's even the youth allowing an officer to put them on social media, that's making jokes about them, right? That's unheard of. That's right. And that's why I try to do more videos than just doing pics where I'm just smiling with someone all the time and whatever. I think that's great, but you need to see the interaction for what it is. Right. It's unedited, it's uncut, and you see the relationship that is being built, and you see my reaction and their reaction to me is genuine. Right. So I really try to capture that in as many videos as I possibly can. And trust me, I have a lot of stuff to push out there. Some stuff I can't push out because these kids are ridiculous. But it just shows the genuineness of if you show them something different, they will show you something different. So we're gonna go to a break shortly, but I want to just before we go to the break. But how do your peers look at you? Because officers is a culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a Muslim man, and it's like don't do this, and it's enforcement, right? Yeah. How do you get away with your peers with this jokey? Do they laugh at you like this clown? Yeah, they. You know what? And not everybody. I think there's way more supporters than there are not. Right. When social media came up and they saw me doing a lot of stuff with social media, it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, and I understand that, and I expected that. I'd say most of the resistance I've gotten was actually not from the community. Like we're saying we want to show the community something different. They actually really embrace the stuff I do. A lot of the more, I guess, negativity or resistance came from within. It would be officers with fake accounts saying, "Oh, go arrest somebody," and "Oh, this is not real policing." Right. But it's always the same comments. Do I react? Nope. To me, that's an education part because I'm involved in a lot of investigations. I am, but that's because I can be because of my relationship with the communities. Right? So I am doing both aspects of my job, and I do it well because I need one for the other. And funny enough now, I don't see a lot of negativity coming from officers and their fake accounts. It's been very quiet because I think they've just realized I'm not going anywhere. I don't react. You're not going to get me doing something foolish where it's going to be like, whoa, see? No, it's not happening. See, you're not going to faze me. And the community's response to me, and especially the youth response to me, is exactly what fuels me to keep doing what I'm doing. All right, we got to go to a break, but we'll be back. Keep watching Hoping it's 6. Hood Cop, Good Cop.
At Benjamin Law, we understand the real cost of personal injuries. As the victim of an accident, you may be the one who's physically hurt, but your main concern is that your family are the ones who will pay the price. Benjamin Law will be there for you, helping, supporting, and working tirelessly to resolve your personal injury case. Call 1-855-899-4878 or visit benjaminlaw.ca and let our family of lawyers help your family.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true.
refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community.
Welcome back to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and today we got Dale Swift.
That's right.
PC. We go into this part of a segment of the show where we now, I read letters from inmates.
Okay.
You know, because I work with a lot of offenders, people on probation and parole, you know, and I read their letters. If I'm not reading a letter, I'm reading a prison newsletter.
Okay.
You know, for prisoners, you know, from prisoners for prisoners. So I got to get them a voice, you know what I mean? And we have to normalize them as well. Because we want to normalize officers, we want to normalize street youth. So we got to see their emotions and their feelings. So I'm just going to go into a letter from a young man called Stacks. Shout out to Stacks. Hey, Eddie, what's going on, man? I hope things are good out there. Weather is beautiful. I miss outside. Almost a year that I've been locked up. But enough with that. Remember the track you told me to work on? I've been working on it. In my opinion, it's a banger. I send it to you now. You might not know the flow, but when I visit, I'll show you. So he wrote me. I guess the lyrics is here, right? When you visit me last week, was great. My girl visited me last week. Excuse me. It was great. I miss her. Make sure you stay in touch with her, and keep her updated about my court date. My next court date is coming up next Thursday in person at Old City Hall. Hope you can come and bring my wifey too. After that, my next court date is such a time, I don't want to really go into that. Prelim, and I should be busting my case. Anyways, hope you like the track. I got Shiloh to write me. Tell him it's our time to shine when I get out. Stay safe, broski. Bless up. This is his lyrics. I don't know. I want me to read it, so I'm going to just try, but it might not come out good. Did a bid. Came home to a Benz. In South, I was still making bands. On the range with the dogs from my ends. Orange jumper, like this, because my lifestyle is intense. Did a bit, but you know that I'm back. Trap calls to my B, making stacks. Case dropped from gun, and the Pax crown keep trying to give me an L. Late night smoking up in my cell. Sticky bands every week, living well. So much pain in my eyes, can't you tell? I'm gonna stop right there before I butcher it more. But I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay.
But he's an artist, evidently. He's a rapper, and I go visit, and I have to encourage him, right? So I will criticize the lyrics and say, man, you gotta change the subject matter. You can't be just saying the same stuff. Make something about this, like, you know, different perspective. And I go in, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're locked up, all you can rely on is your little poetry skills or your lyrics. You have nothing else, you know what I mean? But it's real life, and that's their perspective, you know. They really don't. They resent officers, you know, and we're trying to change that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of officers resent street youth. We're trying to change that, you know. Recently I was well, not recently, last year, somewhere last year. One of my youth was getting arrested, but he's acting up. Police ran on him behind. He was walking across the street, so he didn't see. He didn't even know it was police. Somebody ran out and jumped on him, such forth, right? And the youth came, Eddie, you know, go, what's the name of the arrest and blah blah. And I went out, seen it, so I'm like, chill. I'm not gonna say, F the police. I'm not gonna go against
Yeah.
police. I'm saying, calm down. We got lawyers. We good. Chill. Don't worry if they violate your rights, and I'm just trying to protect them. One officer looked at me and was like, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, check this out. Now the story gets to change. Now another officer pulls up in the car on the scene. You know, the late ones. You know what I'm saying? They come up and this guy jumped out. You know what I'm saying? He jumped out and he seen me. He's like, get back, and pushed me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about that, right? He pushed me and I was so offended. I said, don't push me. Then I'm like, don't get arrested in my mind. Don't get arrested. Because, you know, you react, right? So he pushed me mightily. And he said, get out like I'm on the crime scene. But check it out. I was an officer. I know, I respect boundaries and all that. So I would never be in the crime scene like some, you know what I'm saying? But check it out. I have my hat on. I got my swagger gear on. You know what I'm saying? So I look like a youth. I look probably street or whatever. So
and
that's what happened.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But so what I'm saying is, though, he judged me based off of that. You know what I'm saying? Because all the other kids was there. Society was there. Everybody had their phones recording. I'm telling the guy to stop resisting. Yeah. And he pushes me. But he came on the scene ignorantly, and this is my problem. What make it worse, he was a black officer. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about policing and the community, we really got to address the issues of like now, not even just police. What about black cops? You ever heard the song Black Cop? Black Cop, Black Cop.
Come on.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that because because we're looking at, he saw me as a thug, and he treated me like that. He violated my rights. My lawyer the lawyer that I said we got lawyers, she was like, listen, let's get him. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to get him so bad, but I can't because I'm still trying to build the gap. I'm trying to build relationships. You know what I'm saying? But what would you say to that situation right there?
To who? To which person?
The black cop pushing the black guy. You know what I'm saying? Not even knowing the. Or how do you deal with that? Well, I mean, what is his perspective, or if you could see from his point of view?
But see, getting that whole story, I see everything that's happening, right? And see, with me, I can only speak to my regard to that. So I come in that scene, I see you trying to calm things down. You guys are away. My biggest thing is how safe is that officer? Is he safe? Is everything under control? What's going on? Then you kind of feel the area. But listen, if I have no reason to if you are not showing me assaultive behavior, or it looks like you're trying to like tamper with an investigation, making my other fellow officer feel unsafe, I have no reason to put my hands on you, nor do I need to deal with you. So I don't know what that officer was thinking in regards to pushing you, but that's what I was talking about, like policing being a very reactive thing, right? And this is sometimes like this is where we can be our own worst enemy because we go to a situation, we react without thinking things through, and then that's when negative things happen. And it could be an officer who would probably never do that in any other situation. He would be able to kind of put things in perspective and say no. But because he's running the police, because we're reactive, it's almost like you get this mindset that you need to be a certain way. Right. But the problem with that is when you're in that certain way, the community is seeing that not only are you a police officer, but now you're a black peace officer, and I've gotten this. You are a traitor, you're an Uncle Tom, you're whatever it is, because now you're working for the man, so on and so forth, right? So having that stigma, having two words that clash, and you are one of those, right? You're bringing two worlds into one. Right. So having that stigma, and then showing the public what they don't want to see, I think is even worse more so for black cops than it would be for white cops. That's my perspective. Right. Because they're really trying to figure me out. They're like, well, whose side are you on? Right. And I'm on the side of just. I'm on the side of things being appropriate. I'm on the side of making sure that you know your rights and you are protected, the same as myself as well. Okay. But I struggled with that when I first got on. I won't lie, like I did, and I'm probably going off track. This is where you got to stop. Right.
Well, with that said, I want to put you on the spot. I want to put you on the spot.
Okay, put me on the spot.
This show is like I said, the audience will judge. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, you're an officer, you state your claim, your perspective. So I want you to go. I was at an event, I Impact, shouts out to Farley Flex and the whole I Impact team. You know, we were at an event where it was community and black community and police. Yep. We were having a discussion, you know. Hopefully that will continue to go on and we get into some deep conversation. But I heard you spit some bars there, and I want you to spit your bars to the audience so they could judge, you know, like say, hey, let me see his perspective. So let's get it, let's get it. So no beat, right?
Let's put this in perspective. So it was called, wow, you just put me on the spot like that. It was called the Truth Hearing, and it was an event that brought youth that had been in trouble with the police, been incarcerated by the police, and then police officers who also had interaction with those youth as well,
Mhm.
bringing them together in a safe place where
Mhm.
everyone can just be themselves and just speak their minds. These bars I'm about to butcher, hopefully I don't, is actually from a young individual who was actually incarcerated for a few years.
Okay.
And him and I worked together, and at first it was a bit of a resistance, but then
Mhm.
after that we realized that we have the same goal,
Right.
but we're just doing it in different
Different ways,
right?
right.
So he created these lyrics. He created mine and he created his. So these are the ones that I got,
Mhm.
and I think it's fantastic. So
Let's
take it
go,
for what it
let's
is.
hear
All
it.
right. All right. Shout out to King. Here I go. Probably Flex if you're watching. I put my life on the line every day for you young bucks, and all you want to do is flash guns and sell drugs. I joined the service to keep tensions calm, but you and your homies don't know where I'm coming from. Calling me the enemy just because I call you out? Time out. Maybe I grew up in the hood too, cockroaches and lights out. Deny me like Peter did Jesus? I'd write down my hardships, but it'd be longer than a thesis. Divided, self-doubt, and pity. Got to my goal, fall in the Red Sea. Y'all go on a crime spree, leave your homie behind, and force him to take a plea? Look at yourself in the mirror first before you judge me. Or better yet, before you start that riot, you watch your homie kill your other homie, then you stay quiet? How gangsta is that? And y'all walk around claiming you pro-black, and then look at me as if I'm whack? Facts. Who are you? Please. Every person that gets shot is known by police. Don't forget, we run the streets of Toronto, while you talk smack about stacks today and borrow bail money for tomorrow. Y'all always talk about being harder than hard, claiming you big and bag, letting your pants sag, thinking you hood rich with your Louis bags, living off the system, selling drugs on the side. You can't see your potential because of your own goddamn pride. Are you really ride or die, or are you terrified? Thinking you are you terrified? I'm numb from seeing the same thing day in and day night, and day in and, see, I'm messing up, sorry. I'm numb from seeing the same thing day and night. But what you know about that? I protect and serve all races, and that don't exclude black. I ain't prejudiced. I don't see color. A life is a life. You feel me, brother? You can keep hugging the block, but the block don't hug back. I'm not prejudiced. I just wish y'all could see that. That's it.
All right.
And this is from King. King, I respect.
Shout out to King. We got to go to a break, so we'll
Sorry.
be back. Hoping the 6.
Hoping the 6.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May your dreams all come true. Happy birthday to you.
We refuse to promote, report on anything negative in the community.
Hey everybody, it's PC Swift, T-Dot City here with my boy Caleb. Yeah, show your face. There you go. Caleb here is picking up an order from McDonald's because he lost the bet because he bet on an NBA All-Star game. He bets on the NBA All-Star game. And now Caleb, what do you owe this man back there?
3 chicken.
How many?
3.
Idiot.
I was talking so much trash.
Yeah, see what happened? Yeah, okay. Oh, here we go. So this is my boy Dwight.
Are you the guy that lost the NBA bet? Yeah. Oh.
back to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and we got Officer Dale Swift. That's amazing. I love to see you interact, and these are young kids, and they're getting a good perception of perspective of police. They're looking at you guys like, hey, you're funny and you're cool.
Well, the interesting thing is we always hear about how the 15 to 19-year-old youth, but realistically it's black males, have the biggest issues with us.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, so that's my target group. That's who I work with. That's who know me. That's who know me the best. Probably more than other officers is that age group in the area that I work in and outside that area.
Right.
So I focus on that group because you need to show them something.
Right.
Because that's the age group that's going to see us that much more. So if they don't have a difference of perspective, all they're going to have is one perspective. So anything you do, you got to show something different. Show a different perspective. That's it.
Okay, that's great. We had a comment from an individual. Would like to kind of address that. Wow, just like 30 years ago, nothing changes. Newsflash, you're not the face of police here in Canada. Stop making excuses for their... Is there anything else, or she left it like that? Their abuse and racism. So I don't know, are we making excuses for abuse and racism? What could you say to this?
No, I don't think I ever said there wasn't racism, and I don't think I've ever said that there haven't been times where there's been abuse. That's the whole point of this whole thing, is showing that even though that stuff has happened, you have to take it upon yourself to show something different. You have to take it upon yourself to be something positive despite stuff that happened 30 years ago. If we focus on things that always happened in the past, how do you move forward? Right? And yeah, I have a job, I have a responsibility, despite either flag from the community or flag from the service, to represent the city how I know it should be represented.
Right.
That is what I do. And for me, I have to say it's been very successful because it's about the genuineness. Of course there are issues. There's always going to be issues.
Right.
But if you sit back and watch, like, you know, you have that old granny on the porch that goes, there goes blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Just always making comments. If you are just the observer, then you're not helping. So you gotta think to yourself, in those situations, what is your impact? That's it. What is your impact? Is it negative or is it positive? Are you trying to show something different, or are you not? So it's either you are a part of the solution or you are not. We've all been discriminated at some point in our lives. We've all had issues with cops at some point in our lives. We had issues with everything. But despite those issues, what are you gonna do with that? Are you going to feel sorry for yourself? Are you going to allow yourself to be victimized? Or are you going to be that difference? Are you going to be that trendsetter, showing something different where people go, you know what? Even though this happened, this person and that person are trying to do something right.
And towards that comment, they said it was said that you're not the face of police in Canada, right? Yeah. But we're trying to be. You know what I'm saying? If this is how we see police, it'd be awesome. Yeah. We're trying to see police like this. You know, so if you're not the face, let's make this the face of officers now. Hanging out with youth, going to the community, saying what's up. That I could see an officer and shake his hand. Like I said, I got pushed. So we're not trying to hide. I'm not trying to make it pretty. You know what I mean? I work with individuals that don't like police, and I'm trying to bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I got my own biases too, because I've been treated a certain way. But I can't penetrate that. I got to work on how do I now work this out? How do we trying to problem solving? We're trying to be solution based. So we're trying to figure it out. We're not saying we got the answers, none of that, but we got to talk. It begins like this, coming on the show and having this conversation and being transparent as you can. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, we're going to go over to a special part of this show called Bars for Bars with Jason Fresh. Check it out.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jason Fresh, part of the Hope team. This is Bars for Bars, and we got Brian.
As I thought about something to say, there's always been one thing on my mind every day. Now, I didn't think it would be a bother, but I do wish I had a father. Crazy, right? A positive person talking sad? But all I really wanted was a dad. See, I wanted him to teach me how to be a man, so I can apply that knowledge to every day of my lifespan. I wanted him to teach me how to give a manly handshake, but know how to recover when faced with heartache. I wanted him to teach me how to be a man with distinction, but then he became a father of extinction. His absence was like a never-ending thought I couldn't untie since he was gone from when I was the age of 5. But fast forward many years of grief, I can still say I thrived. And ever since then, I've been striving for something higher. And along the way, I've been called a crier, a liar, because I didn't acquire a father since I used to pass a fire, which passed on like wildfire. So I had to rewire my brain, and now I'm known for being a squire. a powerful man who can do many things, who uses his voice as his power, call me a king? And when I have a child, I'll be there for him, no matter what. I will teach him to have a personality that many would admire. His presence would have so many people inspired. But how do I know that? I don't. But I believe in the unknown. That's where I'm growing every day, as if I'm always in the zone. And I know it's statistically proven that single mothers produce the best babies, and maybe it's true, but I'ma still work every day, cause mama didn't raise no fool. I am not just a statistic, I'm a fact. In fact, I'm terrific like that. If you put me in front of any challenge, I will conquer that. Because I know it's possible to be there for one when no one was there for you. It's possible to get through a challenge even when you're feeling blue. It's possible to pursue what's uncertain. It's possible to stand up to any antagonist that may be lurking. It's possible to pursue your goals even though it seems improbable. It's possible to show everyone unequivocally, absolutely, without a doubt, that I am possible.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back to Hope in the Six. I'm your host, Eddie Martinez, and we have Officer Dale Swift. Before the break, we had Bars for Bars, and I want to shout out that young man, Brian. He said some powerful stuff. Go, Brian. You're doing your thing. I'm proud of that young man.
Trust 15. Yes, boss.
Yes, Brian did his thing. He's talked about not having a father, and this is not a whole nother issue. We don't have the time to get into it, but not having a father is like a hatred for male. You understand what I'm saying? I've been through that. My father was in prison most of my my young childhood, so I'm reading letters from him and all that stuff. And then when I finally see him in person, it was a bad experience. I seen somebody selling them drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I hated men, and particularly black men. So I had a dark place. If my mother didn't move me down south and had a different exposure, I'd have been a menace to society. So there is some. This is another topic we're gonna get some people on and really address this issue. But that contributes to now this policing and the black and the officers and the authority figure and males and all of that. So we want to get into it. But I want to just read a little brief paragraph from this book Community by Peter Block. If you've been watching Hope in the Six, you know I've been talking about a lot of different section of this book because it's so very deep, and it nails it in the head, right, to the subject matter. But it's Community by Peter Block. Go out and get this book. It says, doubt and dissent. One place where this is least understood in the relationship between police and citizens. Few civil services put themselves at such risk or are more vulnerable than police. No civil servants are literally more physically present in a community than police. Police are constantly in community conversations talking about public safety. Police get into a problem when they think they are responsible for public safety. They are not. Citizens are responsible for public safety. Citizens commit crimes, prevent crimes, and create the condition where crime is high or low. As long as police take responsibility for safety, they are going to stay in a defensive stance, which moves nothing forward. Police are responsible for enforcing the law, apprehending criminals, and mediating or stopping violence. Police are not suppliers of safety to a passive citizenry. Safety is not a product purchased from the police. When citizens want to place responsibility for safety on the police and police defend themselves, they collude with citizen unwillingness to claim the sidewalks and community as their own. This is important. We're running out of time, but I want to say this briefly before we go about the face of Canada. Briefly, The writer is saying, and this is his perspective, so the people don't have to agree, but he's saying, is your community. We have to take responsibility for our community. Shouts out to Drain and Trittaway. When I first landed to Toronto, that's where I live. They built a nice, beautiful park across the street from the buildings that I lived in, right? And it started to get messy, and dirt is in there. I mean, not dirt, but like trash on the ground. And this park is brand new. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I did? I had my son out there, and I started cleaning up, picking up the trash. You know why? Because I said, that's my community. I'm not going to wait for that garbage truck to come by with the little, you know, that little arm, even though they come every now and then. But that's my community. This park looks beautiful. This neighborhood is beautiful. I'm cleaning up. So when they talk about take responsibility, we have to. We could now come together and lick out against the gunman, lick out against a lot of things, like Community Watch, but in another degree. So, I mean, shouts out to the writer, Peter Block. That's very dope. But I want to get back to you. We're going to wrap it up. I want you to talk about the face of community.
So that
policing,
comment, so that comment by that young lady I thought was really interesting when she said I wasn't the face of policing in Canada. I might not be the face of policing in many parts of Canada, but where I'm at, I need to be the face. In Toronto, Scarborough, GTA, you name it, this face needs to be seen a lot more because I represent Toronto. I'm from Toronto. I know Toronto. I love Toronto. So even though this face might not be in another region, province, or so on and so forth, this needs to be the face here because our young individuals, especially our young black males, need to see something different. And a lot of the black males that I work with don't see me as a police officer. They see me as a father figure, a big brother,
Humanizing the
mentor.
badge.
That is it. And policing comes third or fourth. Why is that? Because I chose to be the face of Toronto and policing.
Okay, bless. Thank you for that. Thank you for coming on the show.
Worries, man.
How can people find you on social media?
It's very easy. A lot of my work, I do a lot more stuff on Instagram because that's where a lot of the youth followers are. It's TPSwiftD. Follow me, don't follow me, reach out to me, ask me questions. I don't care what the questions are, I will answer them. It's a public page, so you can just check it out and let me know what you think. And that's it. Just trying to show something different.
Right.
What's your impact? Remember, what is your impact?
Right. And this is Hope in the Six when we have police trying to make the effort. We at least no one can say you're not making a conscious effort to make a difference. With that said, bad boys, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you gonna